All right, Boardman Volleyball, we're back at you with another player profile. We have senior Nina Tran. Nina, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
You're going into your senior year. Talk to me about what it's been like to kind of deal with that emotion and that mental aspect of knowing that this is your last ride and you have to take it all in.
Yeah, it's definitely sad, but very exciting. I've definitely gotten sentimental already. Definitely after the football game, it was such a big win, and I was just so happy to be with my friends. And yeah,
Some seniors, when we're talking to them, it hits them almost right away that it's their last year. And then some seniors tell us that it doesn't really hit them until senior night or their last game. What side of the fence are you on? Did you kind of understand a reality hit that it's your last year, or do you think that's going to set in more when the end of the season comes around?
volleyball wise, it'll definitely settle in during senior night. But just like as a student and the rest of my life, I definitely feel like a senior.
As a senior this year, you've been put a lot of responsibilities on your shoulder, a lot of more leadership asked of you this year. What's that been like for you to step up as a leader of this team and to try to guide a lot of new faces on this varsity floor?
Yeah, it's been a little difficult to get used to, but I feel like I've always been a natural leader, and it's just such a great group of girls that I'm excited to lead, and I just love all of them.
How would you describe yourself as a leader? Like, what do you think are the biggest attributes of leadership that you bring to the team?
I like to say that I'm pretty vocal, and I stay positive a lot of the time. Volleyball's very much a mental sport, so I just like to keep the spirits up and just cheer on my teammates.
We see a lot of either young or new faces on this varsity floor. Either they're young or they're kind of stepping into much bigger roles this year. Are there any of them underclassmen or youth that you've kind of taken under your wing a little bit and that you're kind of watching them succeed and kind of like the proud mom watching them going, man, I really I tried to teach them a lot.
Yeah, Gianna Commons, Ava's sister. She's my favorite freshman ever. And it's just so amazing to see her play because she's so similar to Ava, and I just see a lot of potential in her, and I really love
One of the things that you and her have in common is the defense that you're both able to play in the back row. It's an unsung part of volleyball, getting those digs on hard hits. How much pride do you take in your back row defense?
I take a lot of pride in it. I've always wanted to be a libero, like ever since like in middle school. I was just always watching these YouTube compilations of like libero saves, and yeah, I love my position. I love my sport.
Let's talk about the start of your volleyball career and when you kind of started to pick it up and when you started to fall in love with the sport like you have.
Middle school was definitely like the beginning of it. My sister used to play with me like even before middle school, and I just always loved just playing. It was so fun, and yeah.
People will look at you and see that you only play volleyball and think, man, Nina has a lot of free time on her hands. But when I look at your extracurricular activities that you're involved in, I go, no, not a lot of free time. I mean, not just club volleyball, but you're in so many, clubs in the school and you're in the future leaders and you work a job as well. How much do you like keeping yourself busy and making sure that you don't have those idle hands where you're just twiddling your thumbs with nothing to do?
Yeah, I really like keeping my schedule busy, just like so I don't have nothing to do, and it just makes me feel more productive because like all the time that I have in my hands, I could use to be doing something.
You would do all that and you still maintain a 4.0 GPA. How much pride? I mean, we talked about pride in your defense. I think the 4.0 GPA might take you a little bit further. How much pride do you take in the fact that you've been able to accomplish that so far in your career and the fact that you've been able to work so hard in the classroom?
A lot of pride. It's not been easy to keep my 4.0. I'll tell you that. There's some really hard classes that I've taken, but I'm just really proud of myself that I've been able.
Was 4.0 a goal as soon as you hit high school, or do you think like after sophomore year when you still had it, you were like, okay, let's bear down junior and senior year to make sure I keep it?
It was definitely a goal from the beginning. Yeah.
When you set that goal, what were some things that really set you apart? Not everyone can get a 4.0. Everyone works hard, everyone studies hard. Not everyone can get that kind of grade. So what were some of your routines and some of the things that you did to make sure that you were able to do that?
I think time in the classroom is really valuable. Just like people usually zone out like during class or whatever, but like using that time during class to like actually pay attention and take notes, just it's really helpful.
All right, I want to talk about your favorite subjects that you've studied so far on Boardman. I know that the school offers so many things that you can take and so many avenues of your interest. So, what are some of the favorite classes that you've been able to take over your years?
My favorite classes have been probably AP Psych, AP US History, just like more of the humanities classes that I've taken. I'm just really interested in those, and yeah, those are really fun.
Just put AP in front of everything, right? With Nina. Um, what are some of the classes that have made you work a little bit harder, that made you really bear down and struggle to get that 4.0 GPA?
Definitely chemistry. Struggled a lot in that class. It was just like so different from what I've like done before. But yeah, that was pretty hard.
Do you have any fellow students that have like helped you study or helped you really get to where you are, that you think, man, if I didn't go through this class with this person or this group of people, I just would not be able to maintain the grades that I did?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that have like basically the same schedule as me. My friend Ashley, yeah, they just have helped me study and just keep me. They just push me to be better.
Now, you do play club volleyball, but you've also put in your questionnaire that you have decided to not pursue a career outside of high school. And I want to talk about that decision because you've put a lot of time into volleyball, and sometimes people realize that it's just not going to be the avenue that they take into their career after high school. And I'm sure that was a tough decision with all the time that you've put into the sport. What went into it, and what kind of made you start to feel like that you were born for better things than the volleyball court when you graduate high school?
Yeah, a lot of people have told me that I have the potential to be recruited and everything like that. And I love volleyball. I love volleyball as a sport. But to be a college athlete is a really big time commitment and physical commitment. And I just feel like I wouldn't be able to like put my best foot forward in college if I was a full time athlete.
Now that you know, like you know that you made that decision going into your senior year, how much more special does that make this season, knowing that it is truly your last season of competitive volleyball?
It's so special. I feel it every time I step out on the court because I'm not playing club either this year. So it's just it makes me really sentimental. I'm just really sentimental this year.
One of the questions I love to ask about players that aren't going to continue their athletic career is how they're going to keep that competitive fire in their life, because that won't go away no matter how much you stay away from the volleyball court. You're not going to get rid of that juice, that thing that drives you to compete. So what kind of things do you think are going to replace volleyball in your competitive attitude?
Um, I'm definitely like open to like club volleyball in college, like intramural,
Mhm.
and maybe looking at some lower level like coaching positions. But
I
yeah,
was
I
gonna
definitely want to keep volleyball in my life.
I was gonna ask that, perfect segue, because you're such a natural leader. Do you think that like coaching is something that you would pursue in a future after you're done with college and you kind of have time to think about coaching? Do you think you'd make a good coach?
Yeah, it's definitely not off the table. I think I'd really enjoy doing that. Yeah.
When you think about things that you do want to do after high school, what are some of your goals? Some of the things that you want to see in your future?
Um, First, I want to get my bachelor's degree, and then hopefully along the way, I my ultimate goal is law school.
What's driving you towards that want to go to law school and to pursue that career?
I've always been sort of like argumentative person, and I know a lot of people say like I want to be a lawyer to argue, but I really feel passionate about like the law, and it's just something that has piqued my interest like for a while.
In your questionnaire, you were adamant that you wanted to go to school out of state. You did not want to stay in Ohio. Do you have a state that you want to go to? Do you have like a dream state that you'd want to be at for college?
Definitely looking at schools in Florida because I used to live down there, and it just feels like home. Definitely
You
Florida.
just want the sunshine.
Yeah, of
Sick of the
course.
winter. It's
Oh yeah,
okay. You can say it. Winter sucks. When you think about, oh, sorry, lost you for a second, but we're good.
we're good.
When you think about things that you're so proud of that you've been able to accomplish so far in your career, whether it be on the volleyball court, in the classroom, or just something else in your high school experience, what are some things that when you walk down the aisle and you graduate that you're going to reflect on and say, I'm so proud that I was able to do that while I was at Boardman?
I'm so proud to be on the volleyball team to start because it's just such a special group of girls, and I think it really helped me build a sense of community in high school. And I'm just proud that I have like put myself out there and like done the best I could in high school. And yeah, high school has just been a really good experience for me.
We've talked about students that have helped you along the way and the people that are in your friend group that really have helped you study and they get to where you are. But what about some role models in life? People that you think that you can go to whenever you need something and you know they're going to be there.
My parents are definitely my biggest inspiration. They help me do everything. They do everything for me, and there's definitely been a couple teachers in the school that have just like guided me through high school and like helped me a lot.
To expand on that question and to end this interview, we do it all the time with our player profiles. We give you the chance to kind of take the limelight off yourself and to talk about the people that have been there for you, that have supported you, that you wouldn't be where you are without. So I want to give you your time to send out your shout outs and your thanks to the people that really support you and that you wouldn't be where you are without.
Yeah, first I want to thank my parents, of course, and my sister, just my whole family, and my friends for showing up to all my games and just supporting me in the classroom and for my sport, and my teammates as well, because um, I just wouldn't be able to do it without them. And I love my teammates.
Nina, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate the time. We appreciate you coming on talking about your senior year. We wish you the best of luck heading forward, and we'll talk to you in real soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.